I think it's an incredible achievement from the group. It's obviously something that's not been done before. We're fully committed to playing how we've set out to play, and we want to go and entertain, and to come away from here against a side that have been very good in their own conditions for a long period of time, to put in that performance over 3 games, I think is credit to the full commitment towards what we're trying to do as a team. And it's really pleasing to see some of the guys really step up and own the stage in Test cricket. I think one of the great things about it is we've played on 3 very different wickets. We've had to adapt to different conditions, very alien to what we get back home in England. There's not masses of experience, especially within our batting, and away from home, and playing out here is obviously first time for all of our batters coming to Pakistan. So in Test cricket, so when you put it like that, it's you look at it in that way, it shows how big a deal it is, and the guys should take a huge amount of confidence and pride in being able to say that they've come here and won 3-0 against a very good team.
Cricket is all about learning. You continue to learn till your last Test match. But this was your first trip after having toured the world, achieved whatever you can think of. How this tour has helped you as a top order batter, considering that you are one of those Fab 4 group?
Well, you always learn, as you say, you come up against new players, new conditions, and you're always looking to try and take things away from it, add to your game. Watch the opposition, how they go about their making their runs and playing in these conditions, and trying to add things and bits to what's already there. And from a personal aspect, I've not contributed as much as I would have liked, but I wouldn't change anything. The fact that I've been a part of this group that's achieved what it has is it's such a good feeling to be stood here, and I've actually taken a lot of confidence and pride in the way some of the other guys have gone about playing over here. Some young guys that haven't played much in Asia previously, but to come and really, I suppose, show that there's you look at the contrast between Zach and Ben Duckett. They've got 2 very different games, especially against spin, but they both work brilliantly, and they both found ways of putting their bowlers under pressure for sustained periods of time, and that's what it's all about. So even after 120 odd games, I still take a huge amount from watching those guys, top of the order, really set a platform and foundation for the rest of us to follow. I think it's wrong for me to talk about Pakistan. I'd prefer to talk about where we got it right, and I think from the very first over of the series, the way, as I mentioned, the 2 openers, they got us off to a flying start, and straight away felt like we were in command of the game. It was obviously nice to be able to bat first on that surface, but I think set a marker down for the rest of the series, and in that partnership and the way that they took the game to some very good seamers, even on a placid surface like that. So it's so much fun to play in this team, to play the way that we do. I think one thing that I'm really proud of the group for is being able to take 20 wickets 3 times on these surfaces. And I don't think many teams have been able to do that in Pakistan. So yeah, it's very special tour.
Joe, we missed your long innings, your popular. Babar was able to play a couple at least. How was it watching him from inside, from across? How did you saw him develop that innings, and probably when he was destined for a bigger score, he just threw it away?
I wouldn't say he always threw it away. I think you got to give credit to some of the deliveries he got, especially off the seamers, were brilliant bits of bowling. Good use of reverse swing, and to get movement out of those wickets, especially in Multan, to get seam movement. Credit to our seamers and how they managed to do that. Babar's a class player. He's going to make lots of runs. We just knew as a team he was a huge wicket, and that things could move very quickly if they lost their rock, if you like, in the middle of the order that sort of held everything together. And we knew as if we can prize him out, things could happen quite quickly, and often they did.
Last question. I mean, there is a lot of mutual respect between you and Babar. Both of them support each other. Babar is down at the moment. I mean, his team has lost 3-0. He has not done as well as people had anticipated. What will be your advice to him, how he needs to lift not only himself, but the group inside, as in 6 days' time, we'll be playing New Zealand in the first test as the same venue?
Just look at this team. We've had a small bit of change at the start of the year. Now, I obviously stepped down as captain, but look how quickly things have turned around for us. Cricket can happen like that. It gives. I think the most important thing is you've got to try and stay consistent in yourself and your beliefs in your game. You're not going to keep a great player like Baba down for long. You know, he's achieved some phenomenal things at such a young age already. It's just trusting in the talent that he's got. I'm sure he's got some wonderful people around him. I know Saki quite well from spending a lot of time with him around the England team, and he's a great man. He's a great person to talk to about the game, and I'm sure, you know, for him and the team, it won't be long until they're back to winning ways, and he's you know, full of confidence again. But he's still had a brilliant series on a personal note. You know, scored some good runs, and it's part of the journey of Test cricket. You're not going to have it all your own way all the time, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers, thank you.
Very much.